BigMexMusic.com. No Need for a Name podcast. Big Mex here, and
Jamie's here as well.
Mr. Rockstar over here.
Oh, yeah,
that
right.
needs an introduction every single time we talk on the microphone.
I'll introduce myself. I'm going to have to do that from now on, I believe.
We are live. Actually, well, is it live? We're live right now because we're physically here. But when you're hearing this, it won't be live.
You can pretend, though.
You can totally pretend.
It's a live broadcast.
Yeah.
We're not going to, edit this thing down to nothing.
Excuse me, ma'am. No flash, please.
Flash photography is
no
forbidden.
Flash photography.
Jeez, we got groupies. Groupie.
Just in case you know, okay, look, I'm talking to the groupie over here. No flash photography in the photo pit, please. Turn the flash off because that's really. I'm already aggravated. I've been aggravated for about a week and a half already.
Well, it kind of goes hand in hand with how you treat people once you see success. Whether you're in a band, I mean, that's probably the best thing we can use as an example is like, okay, you're a local band. You've had support for 5-6 years before that. You had people that were at every single show. Doesn't matter what state you're in, what country you're in. And then you taste some success. You go on national tours. You get popular. But you often come back and play your hometown. I've seen this before where these bands completely forget where they came from and completely forget the people who, for many times, were one of a dozen people standing in front of that stage over and over and over again.
The only dozen people.
Exactly. And then, just like that, they walk past you. You say hi, they nod. What happened there? It's like, really, that fast? Because I didn't forget you. I mean, I see your face. It's weird, and I think everybody's had that experience. It's people complain they don't want their favorite band to get popular because that might happen, but they do because they want them to see success. But I don't know. Have you had experiences like that for people and then they get popular?
Yes and no. But I think I've noticed it more now that I've been out of a certain station.
Yeah.
Before it was like, yeah, man, I'll come by. Yeah, we'll talk. And they'll come by and they'll talk. And once that has stopped, it was, I mean, the friendship kind of, the haze were still there. But then it turned into, I've mentioned it to you about a certain band.
Yeah.
And now I'm talking about, like local, like Vegas local.
Right.
I've told you my thoughts on how a certain artist has acted, and I understand, it's part of the game. And for the most part, not for the most part, but I mean, because I have friendships with some of these bands,
right?
Personal friendships.
But those will last. I mean, it kind of showed you who was your friend. I mean, that's what you've seen in the last 6 months, big time.
Oh yeah,
who is your real friend and who is more about a business friend.
Yes.
I mean, that's the difference, a business friend. But it's the other side, too, because you were in a business where that was a big part of it. Me, as a fan, especially back then, that's where I get a little offended by it. I really do. I can't help but get offended.
Yeah. And I've seen, and now that I'm thinking about it, I have seen artists kind of brush off their fans, a fan or two.
Yeah. And
I shouldn't do this, but I did because I know how important it is I know the feeling. I know because I've said this before. Like, I'm a fan of this music. I was a fan of the station. I was a listener of the station before I worked there. So I know what it is to be that person. I'm not saying that I'm not now, but I know how to work it.
Yeah.
I know when to keep my distance. I know the tricks. I'm not all up in their grill. I'm not all up in their face. But I know how important it is for the regular concert fan goer, how important it is for that interaction.
Yeah.
And to get cut off like that, to kind of just get, whatever, pushed
aside.
aside.
I mean, it could totally change, your feelings on a band. I mean, I think back, and I can use this one because they're big bands, like when I ran into that thing with Fieldy. He just brushed me off like I was nothing. And I understand you're Fieldy. You're a millionaire. You have 1 billion fans. But just to say, hey, what's up? That's all he had to say. And ever since then, it's like I always have that little thing like, you bastard. When I see him, I don't want that feeling. I mean, I love Korn. I love that band. I don't want that feeling of, the butt hurtness to come out every time I see them. And it's happened, a couple times, even on some like really, I think back to one time, and again, I can use certain ones, but if anybody remembers the band Pretty Boy Floyd back in the day,
yeah,
I was a big fan of that band back in the 80s, and I saw them in Seattle way back when, and we went and saw them at Vamped, I believe it was, and he was the lead singer, Steve Summers, was such a jerk. And it really ticked me off. I was like, dude, there's like 50 people here. Yeah. I'm one of them. And, just to be such a jerk. But, it just makes you not really like that band anymore for personal reasons.
No, and I've pissed off.
Yes, you have.
I've pissed off a couple of people before. In fact, you were there firsthand when it happened with Sebastian Bach.
Yes.
And I still like his music. I don't care if he was a dick to me. Mother Nature took care of that, by the way.
Yeah.
Mother Nature took care of
you sent out the torrential floods and his house flooded. And
he lost all of his Kiss memorabilia from what I remember. We got Ignacio here. He's actually, he was a listener. You listened to me on my last station, yeah? Okay. So I didn't recognize him when he walked up because in this picture he has no beard. Now he looks like a scrub, right? He looks like a degenerate with that beard. And
the hipster.
Thanks for coming out, dude. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So you're actually going to Sebastian Bach tonight, yeah?
Yeah, and how I came to be here is that
your mom and your dad hooked up, and then
not that far.
We don't want to go that back. Time for the whole
position
story.
And all that,
In position, what?
But no, I knew that something had happened between Sebastian Bach and Big Mex, and I sent a message today saying, "Hey, you're going to be at the Brooklyn Bowl." Wondering if, Sebastian Bach, something would go down.
He's banned from the premises.
We actually got offered an interview initially.
You said
and I was
that
like,
to me.
Yes, let's do the interview, but it didn't happen. So, but that's cool. But anyway, so yeah, and you had no clue about what had happened?
No, I knew that something had happened
Yeah.
because of the prior posts from when it did go down. And
that was a while ago.
Yeah, it's lore now. I actually put it in the category of lore. When people think of Big Mex, they think of like, who did he piss off? And that's the first one that comes up. And Lemmy, which is the same night.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think, he goes after big ones. He goes after the big. He doesn't mess around with the baby bands or somebody who's not going to be in the press for the rest of their lives. But it's pretty awesome actually.
So what had happened was Jamie. This was his last gig. He was. We may have talked about this on the podcast before. He brought Sebastian Bach down the red carpet, and I was sitting there with my camera guy at the time, Doug, and Doug had the camera in his hand, and what had happened? You had a sign that said Sebastian Bach.
Well, what we did is I was working the red carpet for my the publication I was working at the time, and I have all these signs I make up, and so the photographers know who they're taking pictures of. And it actually said Sebastian Bach, and then underneath it said Skid Row. Rather than, formerly of Skid Row or anything, it just said Skid Row, because that's how people, the guy working for the RJ, trust me, he doesn't know who Sebastian Bach is. He's like, man, I thought he died 100 years ago. So Sebastian got pissed, took the sign, tore it off, so it just said Sebastian Bach. I thought it was funny, and he was laughing kind of about it, but you could tell it ticked him off.
Yeah.
And that's where it started.
That's where it started. So it didn't help anything when Jamie brings him to my area to do the interview, and I knew I was going to possibly interview him. And before that, I had been watching. There was a TV show on MTV. MTV Live or something like that, where Skid Row did "Delivering the Goods" with Rob Halford, and that song. I mean, they fucking ripped that song. That song was just to me. I'll watch it like 10 times in a row. And I asked him about that. It just made me miss that Skid Row.
Yeah.
And I said the first question out of the gate was, what can the fans possibly do to have you and Skid Row get back together? And he goes like this. I have a new record out. Blah, 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 blah. It's called Kicking and Screaming. Da, 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 da. That was 12 years ago. Get over it. And walked off.
That was a pretty good Sebastian Bach imitation right there. I got to say, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's the Sebastian Bach story. I'm not going to get into Lemmy. Lemmy was another just
Lemmy's kind of untouchable. I mean,
Yeah.
you really can't say anything about Lemmy.
Nah.
I mean, we're talking shit about a lot of people in this first segment, and there's one guy we really shouldn't give shit to is Lemmy. I think Lemmy can give shit to anybody he wants.
Yeah.
And just walk away from it, and we can just cower afterwards. I mean, that's the way it goes, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, real quick, we are here at the Sporting Life. We got to make sure we give our props to the sponsor.
Yeah, this is a very, very cool place. My first time here.
It's your first time, and I've been talking about this place forever
Yes,
to
you
you
have.
guys, and I was telling, I always tell you guys how much I love this place. And so, what do you think?
I love it so far.
Yeah,
this is a
I like
great
this
place. Big, tall ceilings, nice atmosphere. Doesn't feel stuffy. Great service, and I like it a lot.
We're at 7770 South Jones Boulevard on Jones and Robindale. Did I say South Jones Boulevard?
I believe you did.
Okay, just want to make sure. We're on Jones and Robindale, out on the west side, southwest
it's
side.
hard to miss. It's a really nice building.
This would be a good place to watch the Mayweather fight. I don't know if they're going to have it here.
I don't know if they are either, but you know what? They have a room upstairs. I watch a certain zombie show here.
Yeah.
And then we watch it up there, and it's when it's on, it's all about the show. Nobody, it's not loud. Nobody's bothering you, nothing like that.
Yeah, because that's what I wonder. Because when that show, if people are talking and everything, it's like, do you really want to watch it? You can't hear anything, blah blah blah. But I think when that show comes back, I might have to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Look, you got the wife here today. She's keeping an eye on you. I don't know what she's doing over there.
I think she's recording the recording
Is
just
she?
to make sure she can use some things against me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. She's texting right now.
Let me go through a couple of things they got here on during the week. Tuesdays and Saturdays they have trivia at 7 p.m. They have dart tournaments on Wednesdays at 7 and midnight. Happy hour 4 to 6 Monday through Friday. Then they have a midnight to 2 a.m. happy hour with $5 food specials 7 days a week. Thursdays they have a slot tournament and $2 PBRs every Sunday from 5 to 7 because we're here.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
And just full disclosure, that's where we're at right now. That how much is a PBR?
$2.
$2 PBRs from 5 to 7 on Sunday. That's what we're enjoying right now.
Yes,
so it's a
definitely.
very cool place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Ignacio, thanks for stopping by, dude. Let us
Yep.
know how they. Let us know if you want to come back next week and let us know how the Sebastian Bach
Yeah,
concert
for sure.
went.
Yeah, we need since we're not going to be there, we
Yeah.
need a report.
Yes.
So I want you to write down a few things.
I'll do
No, now I'm usually the one passing it. See how it feels? It feels good, doesn't it?
yeah. So full report. I need 400 to 500 pictures on your phone, of course, and a
be
full
a
interview
covert
if
operation.
possible.
Yeah.
And let me know if Sebastian falls on the stage this time,
Yeah.
because he just did that a few days ago.
Yeah, he did.
so-
Yeah, he fell down off. He fell off the stage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He didn't break his hip, did he?
No.
I don't. Not yet. Not
No,
yet.
not
We'll see.
All right, man. Thanks a lot for stopping
right.
by.
Thank you.
Take it easy, and we'll be right back. What are we playing?
You know what? I want us to go out on a band. This is a band from South Carolina. They're from Columbia, South Carolina. They have been around since 2012, and they're making a lot of noise. And they're called Osera. Now, this band was brought to me by Benji Osteen. He's with Carolina Music Management, and he was just saying so many good things about this band. I was like, okay, I'll check them out. And I immediately love this band. They sound kind of like Shinedown meets King's X meets Alter Bridge. So they have kind of that dirty sound, but a real modern sheen over it. So this is Osera with a song called Parasite.
There you go. What are we on?
We are volume11music.com with Big Mex and Jamie. This is No Need for a Name podcast. volume11music.com. No Need for a Name podcast with Big Mex and myself, Jamie.
Who was that?
What was that?
Who was that we just listened to?
Oh, that was Sarah with a song called Parasite.
Yeah.
Really cool band. I urge everybody to check them out. We'll make sure to post some links so you can check them out on Facebook and find their music.
I'll be honest with you, I really wasn't paying attention because I was eating.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Can you not hear me?
I really can't hear you. You have to sit closer to me. Okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So, yeah, I wasn't paying attention because I was eating. So, because they have great food. I had the. You got some food too, didn't you?
Yeah, I just had the. I'm gonna have to cash in my man card when I say I had roasted garlic hummus
wait a minute.
with fresh pita bread.
Your man card was cashed in
when I got the iced
way
tea
long ago.
Oh, yeah, I'm not batting real high here.
So how was it though?
Oh, it's awesome. I'm still eating it. It's great.
Yeah, I had the pork belly.
Yeah, you devoured that pork belly.
But it's not that big of a portion.
That's okay. You still devoured it.
But it had polenta. Like, I didn't even know how to spell polenta barely.
Yeah.
But the first time I had it, I was like, what is this? And they're like, oh, it's like corn. I'm like, okay. And I loved it.
It looked good.
It was good.
I have a feeling I'm going to be trying a lot of this stuff here if we keep coming back like we plan to.
So the wife is sitting over there. Your wife?
Yes, my wife, Brandy. Well, she's trying to not look because if she knows if she looks, she'll start cracking up.
What's so funny, Brandy? Pick that mic up right there. Come on.
She's not going to do it.
Brandy, you're going to do it.
Not going to do it.
You will do it here. Brandy, you don't have to pick it up. Just speak.
Just touch it. All you have to do is touch it.
Just touch the tip right there.
Just touch it. It doesn't count if you just touch it.
You know, I let
she touched it. She touched it.
What's that stuff coming out? Never mind.
Sound.
Sound. There you go. No, I'm not turning it off. You were bitching and moaning that he said that you couldn't sit next to us, and I said, you know what? Bullshit. You sit with us at the table, just no eye contact. That's the only. Pick the mic up.
This is the only time I've ever been near my wife where she doesn't talk.
Yeah, cock blocking. It shows.
That is true. That also happened. That also
you
happened.
saw it firsthand, didn't you?
I did. She didn't know She didn't know what was going on there. It's okay. Next time. So, what were we just talking about?
We were talking about this place here.
This place. What is this place?
The Sporting Life, 7770 South Jones Boulevard on the corner of Robindale and Jones. We're going to be here every week, every Sunday from 5 to 7. While we're here, they're going to have $2 PBRs. And during the week, they got all kinds of stuff going on. Trivia at 7 o'clock on Tuesdays and Saturdays. They got a dart tournament. You play darts?
I know how to play darts.
No, so you're not very good, in other words.
Well, you never know. I could be like a Rain Man type darts guy.
You could be. No. Dart tournament Wednesdays at 7 at midnight. They got happy hours going on. They got slot tournaments on Thursdays. Got all kinds of stuff over here at Sporting Life Bar. Great service, too, by the way.
Absolutely.
I've never met this one. What's your name?
That's Rachel.
Let's get Rachel on the microphone. What's your name?
Rachel, introduce yourself.
Hi, guys. I'm Rachel.
And where do you work?
I work at the Sporting Life Bar as a server.
I've been here many times. I'm never here during the daytime, so I know like everybody else at night and on the graveyards, all the weirdos.
Yeah, I just started about a week ago.
Okay.
I was always here as a patron and drinking. So
that's the best way to get a job.
That's how you get the job.
There you go, Mex.
That's
Mex,
how you get the gig.
Go.
Yeah, we're good right now. Thank you.
We're good right now.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. See, that's the live experience for you right there. So
yes.
You can totally transport yourself and just pretend that this is live, because it is. It's live for us.
And we have a third mic here just for you, the listener, because if you want to just come by, say hi, take part in the conversation.
What else we got on the agenda?
Six.
Six is so lucky. I'm so jealous of Six.
He's not even working, dude.
Of course not. I've seen all the pictures. He's posting all these pictures with rock stars.
All the pictures.
Where is he at?
That his friend is posting of.
She's cool. She posts a lot of pictures.
Cool. Yeah, she's cool.
And we want to thank her for that.
Her.
So
well,
it's
Zara, I think her name is.
Yeah, I don't know if you pronounce it Sarah or Zara, but it's a Zara. So, but she's a cool girl. So. Yeah. So they're in Rockville. Welcome to Rockville, and that's in Florida, I believe.
Yeah, Jacksonville.
Dirty
South is what they call it.
Dirty.
Dirty.
Is that DURTY?
Oh, it's whatever.
Okay.
It's still dirty. Dirty is dirty.
Well, I heard that the Dirty South had a little bit of a storm problem yesterday during Rockville, and the whole place had to be evacuated due to possible tornadoes and lightning. And so everybody had to leave. And a few of those bands got bumped, and that was, I think, a Hollywood Undead got bumped, Exodus got bumped. There's about 5 or 6 bands that got bumped.
Fozzy
got bumped. So Jericho, no Jericho for you. And but you know, a lot of people specifically went for certain bands. Everybody has their favorite band, so it sucks when that happens. But if you live in Florida, you know that sometimes you have to run away. So that's kind of how it goes. So it's going on again, I believe, today.
Yeah. I think it's going on right now.
Yeah. So because we've seen pictures that Six puts online, and he's put on some really cool pictures with different bands. And I, for some reason, cannot for the life of me think of any of the bands he's met so far. Hatebreed, yeah, that's right. You had Jasta.
Queensryche.
Yeah.
I can't remember some other ones. Hollywood Undead. I can't think of any names right now.
So, I mean, he's a lucky man, so we live vicariously through him. Speaking of lucky men.
He said he was supposed to interview Ben from Breaking Benjamin.
Oh, yeah.
And that he backed out or something like that.
Sounds
I said,
about right.
Get Keith Wallen.
Yeah. Yep.
Get him. He'll talk to you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm still surprised he's in Breaking Benjamin.
I'm surprised you didn't know.
No, like I knew he was gone. Why was he gone?
You know, honestly, I don't know what happened there. I never got the scoop, to be honest with you. You know, Keith's actually a frontman. You know, he has a band called Copper that he came from before Adelita's. One of the best albums I've heard in years. And he's a great singer, as you probably know if you've listened to Adelita's Way at any time with him on there. But, you know, he's always been one of the nicest guys that I've met in a long time. So seeing his success is awesome. Yeah. And I know he'd love to be a frontman himself, and he's put out like an EP recently, and it's more calm music compared to his rock stuff. But I'm glad. I'm really glad he's doing well with Breaking Benjamin.
Yeah, well, that's good. Hopefully they'll come to Vegas so we can see them.
Yeah, I know. They better come to Vegas. And I'm surprised Brandy's not going to say anything about Breaking Benjamin. And
you know, Brandy, go sit over there, please.
Oh,
you hurt my feelings.
Oh,
you hurt my feelings. What did you say?
What?
Mic's not even on. I'd have to reach over and flip the mic on.
She's just here.
She's here drinking.
So everybody knows that now. She's here drinking, and by the time this gets put on YouTube, she might still be here.
You might,
but it's okay.
Probably,
we might still be here.
Probably I'd just leave her here.
Actually, I might still be here because I'll probably have to walk home at this point. So, anyways, let's leave Brandy alone so that way I can not be in trouble.
Yeah.
You know, So I said earlier, speaking of lucky gentlemen, you, my friend, are going to some cool places yourself. Where are you going?
I'm actually going this weekend to Houston to go see Avatar and Five Finger Death Punch. And then at the end of May, again, I'll be going back to Texas, except to San Antonio, to go see to go cover River City Rockfest, which we have already lined up Crowbot for interviews in the next week or so, and we also have Drowning Pool lined up for interviews. We got turned down by like Hailstorm. Lincoln Park.
Well, we already figured out that we were in with Hailstorm until my rant about how bad their new album is.
Yeah.
So that's too bad. I'm sorry about that, listeners. If you wanted to hear Hailstorm talk, you have to go elsewhere.
Yeah, like maybe country.
Yeah, maybe country and
country station.
You know, just don't listen to the album. You know, the funny thing is, I've seen some people absolutely love it. You know, friends of mine, I've seen them post that this is the best album I've ever heard. It just shows you that music is so different for everybody. You know, that somebody's gonna love something, somebody's gonna hate something.
I don't think it's that, dude.
You don't think it's that? What is it?
I think it's the fact that certain albums get pushed down throats of listeners and are told you're gonna like this. You're gonna like this.
It's mostly in the pop world, but I think they're trying to get into the pop world.
Yeah, and it's like that for rock too. I mean,
to a lesser extent, but yeah you're absolutely right. I mean, you come from radio, you know.
Yep, I know, and so it was all about this is the latest from, such and such band, and this is what you're going to have to listen to, or if you don't, then too bad.
Oh, yeah. I mean, trying to find a new band on radio is nearly impossible. I mean, that's the thing. And you'll hear, the bands that do make it on there sometimes are just like, well, really? And they're usually bands that have been around for 10 years, and all of a sudden, somehow they make the right connection to get on there. I just don't give a whole lot right now to discover a new band from radio. You got to really do it yourself, and that's what we're here for. We're here to help you.
Like Smashing to Pieces.
Yeah, Smashing to Pieces. The band we just played with Sarah. Bands like that you wouldn't normally hear on the radio, but probably, in my opinion, have better songs than what you hear on the radio. Yeah. No offense to some of those radio bands, but it's a big game. It's a big game.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we got going on. Last night Went and saw a band called September Mourning.
How was that?
It was a very cool show. We went to, there's a place here in Vegas called the Adrenaline Sports Bar, and it's a really cool place. It's up north, so it's a little bit of a trek, but it's well worth going up there.
I like the venue.
Yeah, it used to be called the Cheyenne Saloon, and anybody who had maybe a bad experience up at Cheyenne Saloon, come check this place out. They really cleaned it up. It's cool, good sound system, great lights, a full stage now, which is, if you've been there before, you know what I'm talking about. It was cool, and I mean, they put on a hell of a show. I actually did an interview with September herself of September Mourning.
Oh, that's her name?
That's her name, yes. And she was really cool. We did like a 15-minute interview. Had some cool questions on there, and we're gonna be playing that interview soon. You'll find it on volume11music.com, and they're gonna have some music coming out here in the next year, a new album by the end of the year, and I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I'm interested in hearing what they sound like. So I'll be honest, I've just been out of the loop, man.
I know. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, that's why you're here. I just, whatever. But I'm gonna take a look at, take a listen.
Yeah, you definitely should. So, trying to think of anything else we have coming up here in the next week or so. I believe here in Vegas, Crazy Town's playing coming up here.
Whoop whoop.
Hey, I got to mention them. They just played a huge show, and I got to get some more information on that. But they played a really huge show.
Did you put up that thing that I gave you?
Yeah.
You put it up on the wall?
Yeah, Big Mex gave me a really cool, probably 10-year-old poster.
No, it's older than that.
Older than that?
When did Butterfly come out, bro?
Oh, man, so probably 15 to 20 years ago.
Longer than that.
Okay, 100 years ago when
to
Butterfly was huge.
Brandy, can you find out when Butterfly came out?
Fact checker. So, Brandy, well, we're going to keep talking while Brandy looks this up on the interwebs, and we'll see how old this poster is. But, so I have this framed Crazy Town Butterfly poster.
Here's a little here's maybe a trivia question. That intro, that song, the sample in the song Butterfly, who originally did that song?
Oh God, I have no idea.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Ah,
it's Flea that's playing the whatever instrument that is that weird. I think it's trumpet. I want to say it's a trumpet or something like that.
Oh, that's weird. I never knew that.
That's Chili Peppers.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So they get money every time that song's played?
I don't know.
Probably. A little bit at least.
A little bit, yeah.
Yep. So what else we got going on here? So rumors, I actually posted this on our Facebook page a few days ago, probably a week ago if you're listening to this. It seems that Knotfest will happen again this year, 2015, at the same location in California. And it should be happening at the end of October, just like last year. And this is coming from Corey Taylor himself. He didn't say a whole lot, but he was on the Josta show with Jamie Josta of Hatebreed, and he kind of let that slip a little bit. He couldn't really confirm it, but he said it looks like it's all a go. I kind of figured out that would happen because of the way that their tour schedule is working. There's no California gigs after September, so it kind of makes sense that they're clearing out California and not playing California gigs because of Knotfest coming. So I'm pretty psyched. It's one of the best shows I've ever seen was Knotfest. So
I would like to think how your thought process on that. Do you sit there and look at the tour dates and just kind of like?
Oh yeah. I've had to do that before. Vegas is notorious for not getting tour dates when they're announced. I don't know what it is. Something to do with the casinos and things like that. But I look at concert dates and I'll see if there's a band's playing California and a band's playing in Texas and there's 2 days off in between. I bet you there's going to be a Vegas date in there. Or if I see that they're playing Reno, I know they're not going to play Vegas. So those are the types of things I look for. And I did the same thing when I saw no California dates. I'm like, okay, that means Knotfest is going to happen again.
Yeah.
So I'm psyched. So that should be the second to last weekend in October. Tickets should probably go on sale late June, early July. And hopefully they'll be really cheap like last year.
Lemmy is out of the Monsters of Rock show because he's sick again.
Oh, really?
Yes, I just remembered that. I read that somewhere that he's sick again and he pulled himself out.
Oh, wow. Well, I think it's kind of, I don't know what you say at that point. With Lemmy, he's getting older. His lifestyle's catching up with him. But he'll probably live to be 180 years old. But I think the whole being on stage for 2 hours every night, it's a little much for his health situation right now.
Yeah. That looks like a really good. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Chrissy Teigen's boobs.
Yeah, so Mex is watching TV while I'm watching Mex.
I'm talking to
you.
I'm
It's
talking
kind of
to
weird
you.
though. I mean, he's staring at tits, and I'm having to stare at him.
A boob.
A big boob. One big boob versus two boobs on the TV.
Oh, two.
So
those are nicer than I am. I'll be honest with you. Nah.
Wow. Well.
Have you seen it? You know what? Let's play this next song, and then we'll talk about.
Awesome. I'm going to introduce this song. This is kind of cool. I'll tell the story. We were just talking about Knotfest. This is a band I discovered the morning of us leaving for Knotfest last year. Put it on my iPod. I'm like, okay, cool, we're going to play it. I probably played that thing 10 times that whole weekend. This is a band. They're from Switzerland, of all places. There's bands in Switzerland. They're called Scream Your Name. And I tell you, if you like kind of the metalcore sound mixed with really, really strong, huge choruses.
Here we go with the break.
I know. I got to do it. I got to describe. But Scream Your Name is probably one of the best bands I've heard in the last few years in this genre. They have an album called Face to Face. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on iTunes. This is a song called Save and Secure, and I think you're going to love it. Who are we, Big Mex? I lost my train of thought.
You know what? I was watching you, and I was like, he's going to lose it.
I lost it right there because I was just expecting like fireworks to go off and all this shit. But you're staring at Chrissy Teigen's tits still. But we are Volume 11 Music.com. This is No Need
for a Name podcast here at the Sporting Life Bar.
Bye.
This is everything we've got. This is what we fight for. Now let's make a point. This is everything we've got. This is what we fight for. Make a point. I can no longer stand back. But from what I see, there will be another place where I feel safe and so secure. I will rescue me. She'll find my own place to be. Don't be.
911music.com. No Need for a Name podcast. Big Mex here with Jamie. You gonna say something? You look like you're gonna say something.
I see your mouth moving, but I don't hear anything coming out.
Oh, probably. I'm leaning back.
I
Dude,
know.
I can't lean back, dude.
I need somebody with like flashcards. I need what do they call those things? Subtitles. Subtitles right below Big Mex.
Whatever, dude.
I know. Yeah, this is Jamie. I'm here with Big Mex. What do you got for us, Big Mex?
So the other day, they were doing a press packet, whatever, junket, whatever, for the Avengers. And they asked Jeremy Renner a question about the Black Widow being romantically linked with Bruce Banner in the movie.
That's Scarlett Johansson's character
yes, that's
in the Avengers.
Exactly. And Jeremy Renner just smoothly and calmly said, she's a slut.
Right.
And
she's called the Black Widow, so
yeah.
I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and him and Chris Evans just started laughing hysterically, and then Chris Evans chimed in and basically co-signed and said, I was going to say complete whore.
Which, and again, all these people are friends, so you know what they're doing. They're like, oh, we're going to get Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
But, again, she's called the Black Widow.
That's, like, her character, first of all, is 60. People are getting pissed. Okay, people got pissed off, right? Obviously. And so Renner's PR people and Chris Evans's PR people posted an apology. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys apologizing
The PC
for?
police went crazy.
Why are you apologizing? There is nothing wrong with what they said, because this character is 60 years old, comic book character.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting pissed off because somebody called a comic book character a slut.
Right.
Her attributes are to get any kind of information from these men who are willing to give a pretty woman any kind of information, whether it's using
by any
sex,
means necessary.
By any means necessary, and that means having sex with these characters.
I mean, look at her scene. I'm trying to think of which movie it was, but I think it was Captain America, the Winter Soldier. There's a scene of her when they first show her, I think, and she's like totally like hitting on the guy. And I mean, it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous that after all this time, suddenly people are hurt by the fact that two people who are friends with the actress who plays her calls her a slut. So they weren't serious. They were just joking, and everybody gets freaked out. The publicists go on red alert, and it's like, give me a fucking break. But that's the world we live in. PC police are ready to pounce on anything and everything.
We're not PC here. We don't have to answer to anybody.
Oh, no, we don't answer to anybody, and hopefully we're talking to as many people as possible. But, we're not going to censor anything that we say here.
Yeah. And then that leads into...
Well, just getting into something else that's... we're going to kind of talk more about movies right now. But, something that's happening next week is Free Comic Book Day. And I'm not entirely familiar with Free Comic Book Day. I know you are, Big Mex. What can you say?
I'm going through my head right now of some of the cool comic books I've gotten. I've gotten some really limited edition Star Wars and Walking Dead variant covers for Comic Book Day. It's just that. It's gone on. This is probably like the 4th or 5th year that it's happened, and basically what you do is you go to comic book. Like I've gone to Comic Oasis here in town. That's the only place I'll go, and they've actually had some really cool things available. They had this really cool looking R2D2 patch.
Really?
And it said Free Comic Book Day and the date, and it wasn't R2D2 himself. It was the color scheme of like his dome.
Okay.
And it was like $5.
Okay. So it's not really. I don't know. So Free Comic Book Day. Do you go in there and get a free comic book?
No, you get more than free comic books.
Really?
Like like everybody releases like a limited. Pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
They release these one-off issues. And you get it, and they put them on the table. You walk in, walk out, and you go and you pick up all the ones you want. And you get one of every one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
and
that's kind of cool.
They got some really cool buttons that they'll give you, and then when you go inside, that's outside.
Uh-huh.
Then when you go inside, they have some really cool stuff for sale. They have specials and stuff like that, and some.
So it's like record store day for comics.
Yes, but
much more generous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I might have to check that out myself. And so and that's pretty much all independent comic book stores will be doing that.
Any comic book store across
cool.
the nation. Yes.
So
and
I just want to say, like, if you are at a 7-Eleven or something like that, don't just walk in there and grab the comics off the rack and walk out. They usually don't
7-Eleven
participate.
sell comics?
I'm sure there has to be at least one or two in there. That's where I used to get them when I was a kid. But yeah, just make sure that the store you go into is actually participating. Because if you walk out with the comics and say, well, Big Mex and Jamie told me that I could just take free comic books this day, but actually, you know what? Why don't you go ahead and do that because we want to hear about it.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that? I thought we weren't PC here.
Yeah, but we don't want people to get in trouble.
All right. People, don't do it.
So anyway, yeah, it happens the first Saturday of May. All the comic book stores, not retail stores, not like a Barnes and Noble.
Gotcha.
Comic book stores.
All right.
So get there early. Get in line. Everything's pretty organized. You know the times that I've gotten. So a little while ago we were talking about Six being in Jacksonville.
Yes.
And what was the post that he made a little while ago?
He was talking about something that he was supposed to be meeting up with Breaking Benjamin, doing an interview, and they couldn't do it. And then the rest of his comment didn't really make a whole lot of sense, and I was trying to decipher. I think you may have an answer.
I just texted him. I said, "Are you pissing people off?" And he said, "Not yet." And he goes, "LOL, ROTR is going to be fun, Rock on the Range." So I don't know what that means. He likes to be vague with me sometimes because he knows it drives me insane. So he's going to give me some information here in a second.
So hopefully it means that he got a bunch of extra tickets, a hotel room on the grounds, and airfare all covered for a whole bunch of us for Rock on the Range. I'm pretty sure that has to be what he's talking about.
It better be because
private jet would be nice too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So
we were just talking about comic books. Let's see right into it. Everybody probably has seen the first real picture of the Joker from the upcoming Suicide Squad movie, and that's Jared Leto playing the Joker. This is the most extreme change in a character's look I think I've seen, especially with a comic book character. What do you think?
I'm trying to figure out which Joker he was going for.
The Killing Joke Joker is what they were kind of going for, but they kind of spruced it up with a more modern take. If you can think, here's my best comparison. You all remember The Prodigy, and you remember if you remember Keith Flint from The Prodigy. He's the guy from the Smack My Bitch Up video and all that. That's what he looks like. I mean, that's probably the best way I can kind of explain it. I think that's what he looks like. That's my take.
He's got this really short hair. He's got these metallic-looking contacts in his eyes. He's got like the metal.
He's got a grill.
He's got a grill, and he has these tattoos of what the Killing Joke images.
Right. So he has like ha 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 all over it,
and the grin over on his forearm. And this is, in my opinion, this is what they're doing. They're trying to get an idea of. They're trying to get feedback.
I think so, because it's way early. The movie doesn't come out until next year.
Yeah, so they're getting some feedback. They got, I think to me anyway, they got some very mixed to negative feedback.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't doubt it if they changed it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see why they couldn't just go off of Heath Ledger's Joker, to kind of go that sort of look and maybe modernize it a little bit.
I'm glad they didn't.
Really?
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't.
Love
because
that look.
that's a great look, but that's Heath Ledger.
He owns it. You're right.
That's Heath Ledger. Just like, and since Jack Nicholson, when Jack Nicholson did the Joker, he was a phenomenal Joker. He was that Joker's.
They kind of own the role and make it their own, and that look goes along with that.
Yes, and Heath Ledger, hands down, has been the best Joker so far.
Yeah.
I'm crossing my fingers and hoping it can be, he can reinvent Joker in a positive way. Just in
a more creative way is a good way of putting it. But yeah, I mean, because you can really mess it up. I mean, Leto is a great actor. He's one of the most versatile actors around. So it's gonna be interesting what he does. But they have to be careful. If you're too crazy, it just doesn't. Crazy for crazy's sake doesn't work. That's why Ledger's performance was so good, because it was so, just ready to explode, but he never got there.
And apparently he delved into the character.
Yeah, big time. And so, I mean, that's a hard act to follow. And I think it's good they got Leto. When I look at the character for, the Joker they're going to use so far, it's a great-looking character, but it's not necessarily the Joker I want to see. But as far as a character goes, it's a really cool look. But, it's just not the Joker that I want to see on screen.
Yeah, I think I saw somebody our friend Casey Wells has a podcast, the Podcast Cube, the Cube Podcast, and go check it out. They're pretty funny. Not as funny as we are, but they're pretty funny.
They're pretty good, though. I mean, it's nice to have some healthy competition.
Yeah, sure.
I see a little bit of glimmer of fight.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you brought that. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Okay.
So, yes, I don't know. I'm still up in the air about the whole Joker thing. I wish maybe if it'll be a different story if they put some type of wardrobe on him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we don't know when that look comes out, too. Maybe it's like later in the movie. We don't know. But, yeah, I don't hate it, but I'll tell you something I do hate, and that is the movie Jupiter Ascending. I got to tell you, man, years ago when I saw The Matrix, the first one, I loved it. I thought it was one of the most inventive, awesome movies I've ever seen. Matrix 2 was okay. Matrix 3, they lost the plot. Since then, they haven't made a good movie, and I'm saying that 100%. They have not made a good movie. And Jupiter Ascending...
Well, what about the movie with Guy Fawkes, The Mask?
The what?
The Guy Fawkes, damn it.
Oh, you're thinking V for Vendetta?
Vendetta.
I wasn't crazy about that movie, so I kind of had to put that in my list. I thought it was something not quite that I liked. But, that one would be the only one I'd say that maybe has a glimmer of positivity in it. But going back to Jupiter Ascending, though, it is god-awful. It is how this movie got put out after sitting on the shelf, which I heard it was sat on the shelf for a little while. And to have, Channing Tatum, which is a huge star right now, who just does not fit the role at all. And then, you had Natalie Portman drop out of the film at the last minute. So then you got...
Oh, did she really?
Yeah, so that was the original star of this. And then you got Mila Kunis to take the role. I like her. She's pretty, she's likable, but she is not the type of actress for this movie. And the whole movie was just a mess. It was just, even the special effects were just so bad. I just can't say anything good about this movie. I didn't even make it all the way through, to be honest with you. Yeah. And I was excited to see it too, and I was very, very disappointed. You haven't seen it yourself, have you?
I saw it. I took the boys to the $2 theater.
And you were saying, did they like it, or
the boys didn't? They were just right, whatever. We made it all the way through, but after watching it, I equated it to a very bad Star Wars plot.
Yeah, where I think a lot of space movies do kind of they have to follow in those footsteps, and like a movie like The Fifth Element, I thought did work. And in this case, it's like this was like a poor man's Fifth Element. That's what I saw it as, to an extent.
Yeah.
But I talk about movies that I hate, but I want to talk about one coming up that I am honestly more excited about this movie than I am about the Avengers or any of these other big summer tentpole movies. It's Mad Max Fury Road. Every time I see a preview, I get excited for this movie. It looks so cool. I mean, I cannot wait to see this movie.
I'm like neither way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I wasn't a big fan of the original ones either.
No, I liked the original ones. I liked, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. I liked The Road Warrior.
Yeah.
I liked those movies. My dad was into those movies. But this one is whatever.
I have a feeling it could be like the one that comes out like, oh my God, this thing is huge, and nobody expected it to be as huge as it was. There's no huge stars. I mean, you got Charlize Theron and Tom Hardy, who was Bane in the Batman movie. And, he's a good fill-in for Mel Gibson. I think he's the right guy for the role. There's hardly any dialogue in the movie, from what I've heard. It's very much a chase movie from start to finish. It's almost 2 hours long, and it's a chase from start to finish. And I've been reading more about the plot, and it's just cool. And almost all the special effects are practical. So all those crashes you're watching, they really happen. And they were talking about how crazy that set got. And they shot it, I believe, in Africa is where they shot it.
I thought they shot in California.
No. It was a foreign country because they wanted to shoot it in Australia, and that's where the filmmaker is from. And there were so many storms that the areas they wanted to shoot used to be all desert with no vegetation. They came back to it, and it was all flowers because there was so much rain. And even some of the lake beds that they were going to use, the dry lake beds, had water in them. So they had to move to another country, another continent.
Wow.
So I can't wait. So, I mean, I can't wait to talk about it after I see it in a few weeks when it comes out.
I don't know if I could do a whole chase movie.
I'm excited. That's all I can say. I'm excited. I can't wait for it to come out.
That's crazy.
So that's my pick
Sounds
for the
interesting.
most excited Jamie movie coming out here in the next month or so.
Yeah.
What's yours? Avengers?
Probably. Well, the Avengers coming out Friday. I go like a movie at a time. You know, like I'm Avengers, and then after Avengers, I'm like whatever's next big thing. And I don't really like get involved in that.
Yeah.
But like other than Star Wars.
Yeah, I
is the
think that
only
one takes the cake for this year at
Yeah.
least. And I think we talked quite a bit of Star Wars last week about the trailer and all that stuff. But there's more and more coming out about the spin-off movies and stuff like that. So they've been pretty transparent about what's going to come down the pipeline, which I think is pretty cool.
I tried looking at the Rogue One
Yeah.
trailer.
Well, it's not really a trailer. It's just like it was a presentation at the celebration, so there's no real trailer. I'm sure somebody fan arted it already, so that way they have something that people will believe is maybe that trailer. But it's supposed to be a really gritty movie, more in the vein of Black Hawk Down, which is an interesting take on a Star Wars movie, so that should be pretty cool. But, yeah, our lives are going to be filled with Star Wars for the next 5 years or so, pretty much nonstop.
I'm
so
cool
it's
with
pretty
that.
exciting. Oh, me too. I'm glad. I'm glad they didn't wait another 20 years. I'd be too old to see these movies. But
Do you watch
yeah.
you watch TV a lot?
Yeah, I watch too much TV, actually.
Do you? What's your favorite show?
Right now, it's going to be a toss-up between Arrow and The Flash.
Okay, I can dig it. I just recently got into Lip Sync Battle.
Okay.
And if you've seen Jimmy Fallon, which, by the way, in the beginning when they named Jimmy Fallon the next Tonight Show host, I was like, meh. That's what I was like. The fucking guy, he has great writers.
Yeah.
He has great writers, and if it's him coming up with most of these ideas and saying, hey, I need, run with it, then good for him with those ideas. This lip sync battle has now, that started off as a segment on his show, is now a whole show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they get the celebrities. LL Cool J's, I'm not too big on the LL Cool J hosting thing, but they get celebrities to come out and lip sync to certain songs of their choice. And Chrissy Teigen, oh my God.
Really?
Chrissy Teigen, she has like the face of like the Catwoman that had too much plastic surgery.
Uh-huh.
But when I saw my first episode of Lip Sync Battle 1 with Terry Crews and Mike Tyson, she had this thing that she was wearing where her boobs almost fell out. And I'm like, oh my God, those look so great.
So is it the music on the show that you're digging, or is it
a little bit of
something
everything?
else?
A little bit. The lip sync battles. The celebrities on there are funny.
Yeah.
They're into it. The Rock was on there. He did a really good one. Also, he did Taylor Swift.
Nice.
And Mike Tyson did "Satisfaction" from the Rolling Stones.
Oh wow.
Chrissy Teigen is like this color commentator. And
I might have to check that out. It seems pretty.
I'm watching
pretty
it right
funny.
now.
Yeah, I can see that. You
Yeah.
keep looking up. Again, he's looking at boobs, and I'm looking at a boob. So
I'm participating in the conversation.
You are. You're
Don't give me no
salivating
shit.
in the conversation. It's all right. It's all
Don't
right,
give me
man.
busting my balls, bro.
So what else we got here? I want to mention, I did this last week, and I think this is a good thing we can kind of add to our show, is things to check out. This is primarily, it is about music, everything that's wrapped around music, the lifestyle of music. And albums drop all the time now, and we don't really hear about them, unfortunately, because of the way that the things run these days. So we want to make sure that you know about it. There's a band that was around a while back that kind of was the beginning of the post-hardcore sound, and they were called From First to Last. And people who know this band know that Sonny Moore was their singer, and Sonny Moore is now known as Skrillex. So there's quite a tale behind that band. They broke up about 3 or 4 years ago, splintered into other bands. They got back together, and they found a new lead singer in Spencer Sotelo from Periphery. And I think a lot of people like Periphery. They just put out 2 really good albums. Well, now From First to Last just put out Dead Trees. This album is phenomenal. I love this album. It's a great album. It's heavy, but it's really, really catchy. And so I urge you to check it out. There's also another band that's not signed as of yet, but they're called World Gone. And they just played Welcome to Rockville in Jacksonville this weekend. And they're one of those bands that kind of cut from the same cloth as Mushroomhead and Slipknot. They wear ghoulish masks, but their sound is gigantic. I think most people would really dig this if they like heavy music.
Yeah, I saw the comments about him about something happened at Rockville, and I was like, wow, what's going on? Who are these guys? And I saw pictures of them, and I was gonna mention them to you, and it's funny that you brought them up.
Yeah, we should be able to play them here in the next couple weeks. I've contacted their PR guy, and I think you guys will really enjoy that. So be on the lookout for World Gone. And if you check out their Facebook page, there's actually about 6 or 7 song samples on there, and it's good music. It's cool music.
We got some positive feedback from Livid. I don't know if you saw that or not.
From who?
Livid, the band we played last week.
Oh, I did not see. Actually, I did. I saw a comment that said, man, I can't get enough of Livid.
Yeah.
And that's great. That's what we want. We want people to discover bands they might not have discovered before. And I got to tell you, people, if you're listening right now and you like a band like Livid or any of the bands we played tonight, let them know where you heard it. I mean, that's how we all get along here. Say, hey, man, I was listening to the podcast, Big Mex and Jamie, and thanks to them, now I'm a fan of yours. We'd like that to happen, so they know about us, and vice versa.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a text right now.
Sorry. We'll put everything on hold right now because Big Mex got a text.
This is family thing, bro.
It's who?
No, family. This is
it's family.
Thing.
Never mind.
Don't give me no
I
shit,
take back any vigor or attitude that I just had there.
Just pump the brakes, all right, bro?
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Just pump
again.
the fucking brakes, okay?
Okay, damn. Jeez. All right.
So anyway, anything else?
My little special notebook is empty at this point, so I think we are done with, I believe this is episode 8 of the No Need for a Name podcast.
In the books.
I know.
We're going to try to cut one before I leave.
Did you just say cut one?
Yes, I said cut one.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Put one in the can. That's what they call it.
All bathroom humor.
Yeah, before I leave, but probably not. We've been working so hard at this.
We have.
Fucking exhausting, bro.
I think this weekend it hit both of us. I know for me, every time I'm at home sitting around trying to watch TV or something, I fall asleep. I cannot help it. I'm just like, why am I falling asleep no matter what I do? And I actually took a day off yesterday from work, and I had to take a vacation day just to relax, and all I did was want to fall asleep the whole entire day.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of weird.
Welcome to my world. This is
I
what
know.
This is what
Thank
it's
you
like.
for infecting me with your world.
This is what it's like.
Hopefully, it just gets more busy and better from here on out.
Yes.
And we're enjoying doing this, and we thank you for listening.
And that's what we want. And if you know Thom Hazaert, you let him know.
Yeah, let him know. Let him know we're here to help you.
Yeah.
And
let him know that I'm looking for him.
Oh boy!
Yeah.
If you don't hear from us in the next week or two, you might want to just start looking for Thom Hazaert's Facebook page to see if he makes any weird veiled messages about somebody who got taken out, because he's got connections.
He blocked me from his Facebook page. So.
Oh man! Well, I should be blocked within the hour. So
Are you gonna post this in the group?
No, I'm not.
You're not? Why not?
No, because this is your beef.
No, you're right.
And
maybe we'll talk about some stuff on there, how we could try to work, how it could happen.
Yeah, and Tom, if you're listening too, if you want to give us a call, we'd be happy to do this on the air as well.
Give us a call.
That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, that would be
awesome.
Little words.
This is where
that would be awesome. I'm really thinking about it right now. That would be awesome.
Yeah, you better have that tape recorder handy.
What tape recorder?
Tape recorder. You get one. You'll get one.
We got this.
Well, that's a tape recorder. That's a VCR
my gosh,
too.
Tape.
Don't worry about it.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
All right. So
Brandy,
obviously we don't have a lot to say at
Brandy,
the end of this.
Thanks for hanging out with us and your valuable input.
You say value boob? Really? That's my wife you're talking to, buddy.
I'm looking at Chrissy Teigen.
Okay. Yeah, he's confused right now. Yeah. He's between a boob and a hard place. But yeah. So we just want to thank you. This is No Need for a Name podcast, volume11music.com with Big Mex and Jamie.
Rachel was
awesome. Thank you so much
awesome.
for listening, and take care.
Sir, I'm not resisting. It's foam, sir. Ah! Ah!
The Big Mexican won't go down. Take the shot.